Hey everyone, so we're going to talk some angles today, and we're going to be talking about bisecting angles. You can see here that we've got an angle A, B, and C, and when I mention the term bisect, what it means is two. We want to split it in half, and we're going to be doing that today through the use of a compass, which you can find in any math set, and it looks kind of like this guy. So you can actually use this in order to cut different angles in half, and we're going to show you how to do that today. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to take our compass and make sure that it's nice and tight, because if it's not nice and tight and it's really flimsy, what happens is the angle that we're going to use to cut this angle in half is going to change, and it's going to matter where we're able to cut this stuff in half. So this will look a little bit different because I cannot fit my marker inside of here, so I'm going to actually be cutting pieces out of here. You will actually take your pencil, and then when you make your line, you will cut through the line or create an intersecting point. So let's show you how this is done. So the first thing I want to do is I want to look at my angle, and I want to adjust my compass to any length. It doesn't really necessarily matter, but I want to make sure that it's nice and tight. I want to place the point end of my compass on the vertex, so right here on B. And then what will happen is I'm going to make a little line through here. And you see that little line right there? If I was to continue that line all the way through the other point, I've created two intersecting points right here. What I want to do is I want to make those different vertices on the line here, and then usually with a pencil it would cut through like that, and it would almost create like a circular kind of pattern. You don't necessarily have to draw the entire circle, but you just want to cut through the lines. And then once you've done that, again, important not to adjust the compass. What you want to do is you want to make another intersecting point out in space. So you put your compass on that new vertice, and then what you want to do is you want to have an intersecting point without moving the compass. It's tougher to do on glass than I thought. So I'll just follow this right here. An intersecting point out there, and then if you do the exact same thing with this new vertice, you're going to see that there will be a part where you've created a new vertice out here in the middle of space right here. This guy right here where these two lines interconnect is going to be a brand new vertice, and what we're going to do is call that vertice D. And then essentially all you need to do is once you've created that vertice, you're just going to take your straight edge and you are going to make it travel to B. And if you take a look here, what we've done here is we've cut this into two angles, two exactly identical angles, cutting this guy completely in half, or bisecting it completely in half. Now let's take a look at this again. What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this line, and I'm going to use a different color here, and I'm going to change the size of this so I can show you that it doesn't really necessarily matter what angle you use this at, or your compass, okay? So I had a wider angle on this beforehand, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to shrink this down, and then I'm going to cut through my angles again, so you'll actually just see me eliminate a piece of this line. It's kind of important that you don't move your point off the vertice once it's in there, so I'm going to cut there, cut through that, and through that as well. And you can see that I've got, maybe you can't, but there's a little point here, and a little point here. These two angles are what I've just created. And then from that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create that intersecting point again. So I put my point of my compass on my dot, and I'm going to travel through here if it doesn't slip. And I'm going to travel through here, and you're going to notice that the orange intersects identically on that line. So it doesn't necessarily matter what length this is. All that matters is that you keep your point in the same spot and you keep the distance the same throughout this entire concept. So that is how you bisect an angle using a compass. If you want to measure using a protractor, you can. Unfortunately, I have a purple one and it's not going to show up so great. But this angle, I know that it's cut directly in half because I've bisected it twice now. I guess I bisected it. And then you've ended up on the exact same line, this new angle. So what will happen here is if you are looking at how do you label this now, this new vertice right here is going to be important. So if angle, let's say ABC, because this is A going to B and C, traveling ABC. So if angle ABC, let's say it was equal to, I don't know, I'm going to hypothetically say that this was 80 degrees. Then my new angle, angle DBC, if I measure it, it should, and honestly, this did, bisect completely in half, was going to equal 40 degrees. All right, so that is bisecting angles. If you have any questions, by all means, leave a comment, or if you need to rewatch the video, go back and rewatch it. But that is step-by-step instructions on how to bisect angles using a simple math set and a compass without using a protractor. Thanks for watching.